From Sydney to Rio de Janeiro, millions of people have kicked off their New Year 2015 celebrations under the night skies brightly lit with firework displays. Full of joy and hopes, people wished each other the best of luck in 2015.
Well, a very good evening and welcome to the year's first Primetime News Bulletin. I'm Shahan Jirampati.
I'm Sonali Wanikabadagi. We start off first with a look at tonight's headlines.
Presidential candidates start off 2015 with religious activities. Deputy Minister Nandi Mitreka pledges support to Maithripala Sirisena. Revelation on government and overseas LTTE connections by Partili Champika Ranavaka. No processions allowed to follow the ballot boxes. Strict instructions from the police.
President Mahinda Rajapaksa stepped into the new year engaging in religious observances in Kataragama.
President Mahinda Rajapaksa, subsequent to paying homage to Kirivihera, paid homage to the Kataragama Mahadevalaya. The presidential media unit stated that President engaged in the annual religious observances held at the Kataragama sacred grounds to commemorate the founder of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party, late SWRD Bandaranaike and Sirimava Bandaranaike. President Mahinda Rajapaksa also wished the devotees who arrived at the Kataragama sacred grounds to receive blessings for the new year.
New Democratic Front presidential candidate Maithripala Sirisena commenced work for the new year by following religious observances.
Maithripala Sirisena visited the Kalaniya Rajama Vihara this morning and called on the chief incumbent Venerable Dr. Kollupitiya Mahinda Sangarathika Thera after religious observances. Meanwhile, Maithripala Sirisena also visited other places of worship and obtained blessings.
Developing story brought to you by
Everyone's a winner with Lux Spray Kiri Itirena Vasi. Hurry, this is a limited time offer.
With days to go before the presidential election, Deputy Minister of Higher Education Nandi Mitreka defected from the government and pledged support to New Democratic Front presidential candidate Maithripala Sirisena. He announced his decision at a press conference convened today in Colombo.
After submitting his letter of resignation from his deputy ministerial portfolio, Nandi Mitreka attended a press conference with former President Chandrika Bandaranaike Kumaratunga.
I wanted to be a part of the era where there is going to be a revolution in the country. That is a change for the good. The country is fortunate to have him lead. He's a person who comes from a farming background. If you take a look at the incidents that unfolded in the country after the conclusion of the war, we need to think whether this country has a positive environment for the people to live in. Persons who are living moderate lives like us can leave all the privileges. That is why I took a decision. I have no personal grudges with anyone. This is not a personal battle. This is a battle on policies. The 18th Amendment was brought in and I too endorsed it. Hence, we need to seek forgiveness from the country for this mistake that we committed.
Meanwhile, Deputy Mayor of Gampaha Ajit Basnaika and UPFA Urban Councillor Vasanta Gunawardena pledged their support to Maithripala Sirisena. In addition, UPFA member of the Attanagala Pradesha Sabha, Guji Hanifa, also joined with Maithripala Sirisena.
I extend this invitation to the politicians affiliated with the local government institutions to understand the reality and join with us. We took a policy decision. We want to leave our lives in the hands of the people of this country.
17 UPFA Pradesh Sabha members from the Polonnaruwa district, including the chairman of the Tamankadu and Hingaraguda Pradesh Sabhas, have defected and pledged their support to New Democratic Front presidential candidate Maithripala Sirisena.
A group that pledged allegiance to Maithripala Sirisena convened a media briefing today in Polonnaruwa. Chairman of the Taman Kadua Pradeshiya Sabha, Hemasiri Munasinghe, Chairman of the Hinguragoda Pradeshiya Sabha, Susantha Gunaratne, Deputy Chairman of the Dimbulagala Pradeshiya Sabha, Pushpakumara Ranasinghe, and Deputy Chairman of the Lankapura Pradeshiya Sabha, Sri Bandula, were present at the briefing. In addition, 13 members from 6 Pradeshiya Sabhas in Polonnaruwa district also attended.
මගේ ප්‍රාදේශ සභාවේ මන්ත්‍රීවරු 7 දෙනෙක් මාත් එක්ක අද
7 Pradeshiya Sabha members have joined with me today. The total number of members who have defected from the Polonnaruwa district has now risen to 23. I make a request from all the chairmen of all the local government institutions across the country, work for the victory of common presidential candidate Maithripala Sirisena. Join hands with Maithripala Sirisena. We make an honorable request from them to join with us. Meanwhile, opposition members of several local government institutions, including the United National Party, speaking to reporters in Colombo today, pledged their support to President Mahinda Rajapaksa. Opposition leader of the Mihintale Pradeshiya Sabha, Lalit Edurasinghe, opposition leader of the Talawa Pradeshiya Sabha, Sarath Dissanayake, opposition leader of the Tirupane Pradeshiya Sabha, KB Munasinghe, and the opposition leader of the Muniwangoda Pradeshiya Sabha, Chandika Marampitiya, were present at the meeting. We worked tirelessly and committed 15 of our youth years to build a united national party government because we are aware how we suffered by the 3-decade war. We have decided to defect from the UMP and support President Mahinda Rajapaksa.
The United People's Freedom Alliance convened a press conference today.
The people need to understand that the conspiratorial operations to destabilize the stable political, social and economical system that we have worked hard to create is taking place in the open. The cat is now out of the bag. The only way that they can rectify to say this, that they oppose it. But they cannot do so. The reason is because the TNA too has got involved. It cannot be said while political activities are taking place.
The TNA පක්ෂයත් එක්ක දැන් සම්බන්ධ වෙලා දේශපාලන කටයුතු වල නිරත වෙන අවස්ථාවේදී ඒක දැන් කියන්න බෑ. මුස්ලිම් කොංග්‍රසයත් සමග පවත්වපු සාකච්ඡා.
When discussions were held with the Sri Lanka Muslim Congress, he wanted the 3 seats in Pothuwil, Kalmune and Samanture to be transformed to one unit. We showed them that this cannot be done under the constitution. This is the reason for them to leave. They did not leave because of the 18th Amendment to the Constitution.
Chandrika
Bandaranaike visited Jaffna recently. Mrs. Chandrika is saying, Mr. Prabhakaran, what is the message in this? A fortnight ago, she said in Colombo that she concluded 75% of the war. Reveal details of these double standard statements.
Me, Deputy Wanka.
Speaking at a media briefing today, former President Chandrika Bandaranaike Kumaratunga responded to criticism made by the ruling party on a statement made by her at a rally in Jaffna recently.
A meeting was held on the 30th of December by our common candidate. I too spoke at the meeting. I spoke in English. I decided to make my speech in English because the Tamil community can understand the language better than Sinhala. At this instance, Minister Rambukwala had quoted me saying that Prabhakaran died as a hero. This is completely false. He is not a hero, he is a murderer. He is a power-hungry murderer. Today, there is also a leader in the south who is a murderer, hungry for power. We will take legal action against Rambukwala. It is a blatant lie. I address Prabhakaran as Mr. as means of sarcasm. The fact that they do not understand the puns in English language is not my fault. When my government came into power in 1994, the East was free, apart from a few sections which were freed by the UNP government. It was under my government that the Jaffna Peninsula was freed. However, I do not want to claim it solely as my victory. I did not put up cutouts stating that I solely did it. Army commanders and soldiers under my leadership and under my government sacrificed their lives. After securing a part of the victory, he is acting as if he was involved in liberating the entire country and is of the notion that the people owe their lives to the Rajapaksas for eternity and keep them in power. This is why I reject this.
The Jatika Helorume responded to criticisms levelled by the government against the manifesto of presidential candidate Maithripala Sirisena. The acceptance of a unitary state concept and rumours on agreements reached with political parties were touched upon.
The country cannot come under the reign of a king once again. Although he calls himself Maharajano, this is a republic. You need to seek a public referendum apart from the two-thirds majority to change the name Democratic Socialist Republic of Sri Lanka. Maithripala Sirisena had clearly stated that this clause will never be changed. However, the manifesto of Mahinda Rajapaksa says that the constitution will be changed in 1 year. However, there is no mention about the first clause. We are compelled to ask if the republic will come under the rule of a king once again. The second clause is that the Republic of Sri Lanka is a unitary state. It has already been said that this will not change. What more do you need? Do not be deceived. The unitary nature of this country will not be touched. This manifesto does not say anything of an upgrade on provincial councils through the 13th Amendment, nor anything beyond the 13th Amendment to the Constitution. Is the TNA coming in voluntarily or with any other hidden motive? They have clearly said that they are only seeking a political solution through an undivided Sri Lanka and are supporting to expand democracy. Rauf Hakim has also made it clear that they have not reached any agreement for a separate administrative state. I cannot understand why they are delving on this matter.
එවැනි එකඟතාවයක් නැති බව රවුෆ් හකීම් මහත්තයාත් කියලා තියෙනවා. මෛත්‍රීපාල සිරිසේන මහත්තයාත් කියලා. ඉතින් ඇයි මේක තවත් මේ පිළිබඳව කටයුතු.
Partly Champika Ranaka also made a revelation regarding connections between the government and the LTTE.
2009 ජූලි 21 වෙනිදා
This statement released by the LTTE, dated the 21st of July 2009, says that Kumaran Padmanathan has been appointed as the new leader of the LTTE. Today, Kumaran Padmanathan is protected by Mahinda Rajapaksa. He is campaigning for Mahinda Rajapaksa in Kilinochchi. He is a criminal. There is no way that a presidential pardon can be given to him without following proper legal procedure. This is a crime for the people who are killed and the war heroes who sacrificed their lives. This is a picture of Kumaran Padmanathan and President Rajapaksa together. Once we come into power, not only him, but all those who are free and who went on a killing spree in the east, that is Ram Nagaland and others who are under the president's protection, will see that the law be enacted. The law will be implemented against all the Tiger leaders connected to these crimes. With regard to South Africa and the LTTE groups abroad, we wish to state this. The Tigers, including Rudra Kumaran, are connected to the government of President Mahinda Rajapaksa through the South African National Congress. They are attempting to stop the votes in the north. This situation has also become an issue to the Tamil National Alliance. He is still having connections with the Tigers network across the world. Kumaran Padmanathan, who is going to create explosions in the country, is the Babu living in Sri Lanka. Therefore, we need to save this country from his grasp, and also the administration of this country needs to be saved from Mahinda Rajapaksa.
We will not allow for the unitary state to be destroyed nor the country to be divided until we are living. We have placed our lives at risk to eradicate terrorism in the country. We created the national program to eradicate terrorism. Mahinda Rajapaksa is simply one political front of that program. Mahinda Rajapaksa selected our agenda. He was only suitable for that time period. He is not a person who is capable of pursuing this job beyond that. The country is in need of a leadership for a revival of culture in the country and also to build unity in the country.
Developing Story, brought to you by
Everyone's a winner with Lux Spray Kiri Itirena Vasi. Hurry, this is a limited time offer.
President Mahinda Rajapaksa participated at election propaganda activities in Vidimaliada this morning.
The president engaged in campaigning activities in the Dehiyattakandiya and Girandurukote areas, following which he participated at a public rally in the Andawulpata area.
විශ්වවිද්‍යාලයට යන්න ඕන නම් ඊට පස්සේ දුවේ පුතේ සල්ලි ගෙවන්නත් බලාගෙන යන්න. ඒක තමයි.
Sons and daughters, if you have any wish to attend universities in the future, be ready to pay. This is what it is. These suggestions are aimed at destroying free education. Their manifesto consists of these details. That's not all. They have also suggested that as the treasury is being burdened excessively, public sector recruitment will be stopped immediately. I allocated funds to recruit students who had passed SSC and advanced levels to the public sector in the next year. Now they are saying that this is a burden.
Meanwhile, one of the rallies to muster public support for President Rajapaksa was held this evening in Kandy. We will end this year by giving 99% of the country electricity. End of next year, there won't be any slums in the country. The president will take this country forward to a point where in 2 years unemployment will not be a problem.
We all make minor mistakes sometimes. There is no one among us here who can say that they haven't committed any mistake. There may have been certain instances where your feelings may have been hurt by the conduct of our president, ministers and MPs. But I state in front of the temple of the sacred tooth relic that we must unite and join hands together to elect the president for a third time.
New Democratic Front presidential candidate Maithripala Sirisena says democracy cannot be subdued by any other force. He made this statement at an event in Pittakotte today.
Presidential candidate Maithripala Sirisena met with a group of war heroes this morning. This meeting was organized by the War Heroes for Good Governance organization, themed how to build the dignity of the soldier and how soldiers can contribute to good governance.
There is massive anti-government sentiment that is taking centre stage. Based on the survey reports that we receive, our victory is at a very high level. Mahinda Rajapaksa is in a state of confusion. You might have witnessed recently when the president spoke, he was speaking in rage. I always say, my dear Mahinda Rajapaksa, do not get angry, do not have any hatred, do not suffer. There is a massive anti-government sentiment that is arising against you. You must understand this. Bow down to the people's power. Be kind to the people. Be loving to them. You must understand democracy. It cannot be subdued by the power of money or weapons or even state power. Your defeat is definite. We will record a resounding victory. Do not look at me as the old General Sarath Fonseca. I am a politician with 5 years of experience. For 3 years I was behind bars. Therefore I have changed. Therefore look at me in that mindset and understand it. It is said that he won the war in 5 years. He says that he developed the country in 5 years. That means the country is fully developed. He is seeking another 8 years to build the discipline and morals of this country. There is no need to build discipline in the country. There is no need to build moral in the country. We are born with them. We have a wonderful country. All of this was destroyed by the rulers. The Jatika Nidahas Peramana, or the National Freedom Front, convened a media briefing today.
We are requesting from all the people in the motherland, from all the children who love the motherland, to join hands together with President Mahinda Rajapaksa to take this journey forward, which saved the country from sorrow and created a peaceful environment. It's like this. We do not have any secret pacts. All the agreements that we reached were presented before General Assembly and passed and were published in the newspaper for the people to see. That is what we did with the government. Why isn't Maithripala Sirisena revealing the pact he reached with JVP? Why isn't he revealing the pacts he reached with Hakim and also Sambandha?
Leader of the Sri Lanka Muslim Congress, Rauf Hakim, speaking to reporters today, said that the allegations levelled by the government at the party are completely baseless.
These are baseless accusations. These have been made to mislead the Sinhala Buddhist community. It is clear to us that this government is purposely spreading It is clear to us that this government is purposely spreading such things among the people of this country who have a complete understanding of the SLMC policies. During our time with the government came forward with several proposals. The government was of the view of decentralizing the administration. That was something that was brought up to resolve the issues in an area where 95% of the population speaks Tamil. That is normal. If take Vavuniya, there is a separate divisional secretariat for the Sinhala-speaking community in Vavuniya. Such a similar process was proposed for the benefit of the Tamil-speaking people in the Ampara district. We held several rounds of discussions over this matter. Now that has been misinterpreted and is said that we have requested for a separate administrative district. This wrong impression is being used by the government. We are disappointed and we condemn this.
Rauf Hakim also responded to the allegations made that the SLMC had reached an agreement with the Tamil National Alliance.
When the temporary unification of the North and East took place, the SLMC was opposed to it. The rumor of an attempt to do it once again is a lie. This is being spread by Minister Vimal Veeravansa and his associate Musammil. That needs to be made clear. There is no such agenda. The TNA reached an independent decision and so did we.
UNP Deputy Leader MP Sajid Premadasa attended a public rally in Hambantota today.
Now they are creating a story saying that the military presence in the north will be curtailed by 50% and that the high security zones in the north will be completely lifted. They are also saying that we have signed agreements with the LTTE diaspora and that we are going to sell the country to the tigers. It is evident by the way that they are spreading rumours. The current government is trying some sort of jugglery. Regardless of who speaks about the LTTE, the terrorists are resting in the arms of the government. Kumaran Padmanathan is in the cradle of the government. The Pillayans and the Karunammans who murdered monks in Arantalava and bombed the temple of the sacred tooth relic are not part of the common opposition. They are serving as deputy chairmen and advisors in the Sri Lanka Freedom Party. Friends, Maithripala Sirisena would never betray this country. How can he betray the country when he served as the acting Minister of Defence 6 times during the war? The public rally which was held in the Ranne area in Hambantota was presided by the UNP Deputy Leader Sajid Premadasa.
Welcome back to the news. The JVP questions on the fate of the loans obtained for the development projects in the country. Leader of the JVP, Andrew Kumara Dissanayake, speaking at a meeting in Ampara yesterday, elaborated on this.
Rajapaksa Mahathage Palana Kale Akulata Mayakottara gattada.
During the rule of Rajapaksa, how many loans were obtained? 58,000 million rupees in loans. The population is only 20 million. When we ask Parliament as to what happened to these loans, there is never an answer. We guarantee you this. If we are to send Rajapaksa home on the 8th, we need to know what happened to the 58,000 million rupees. These loans have been taken by pawning the country and the children. After the 8th, we will provide you with a detailed report of what happened to the money. We need to send Rajapaksa home. This meeting in Ampara was organized by the JVP as a part of the series of meetings organized ahead of the presidential election. What is the meaning of this? On the 8th of January, who we need to defeat is not Mahinda Rajapaksa, it's Sumanadasa. It is the astrologer who is ruling this country. The budget is prepared based on the word of the astrologer. And even elections are called on the word of the astrologer. You vote and elect Mahinda and then Sumanadasa controls the country.
Frontline Socialist Party Politburo member Kumar Gunaratnam, who was extradited, returned this morning to the island. Speaking to reporters this afternoon in Colombo, Gunaratnam said that there is a need for a new journey.
Look at the balance sheet during the last 66 years. The gap between the haves and have-nots has widened. The number of poor has increased. Malnutrition has increased. Social malpractices are rampant. There is depletion in various cultural aspects. Then there is democracy. If there was some sort of democracy in the past, it does not exist now. We need a new journey. Everyone is the same. Let us steer to the left. A new light. A new leftist journey.
The police has emphasized that when ballot boxes are being moved from polling centers to counting centers, political party processions will not be allowed. Speaking to reporters today, police media spokesperson SSP Ajit Rana elaborated on the special security program for the presidential election.
We have observed that on election day there are bicycles and motorcycle processions behind the convoys transporting the ballot boxes to the counting centre or the district secretariat. That will not be allowed. Such processions will be prohibited. In addition, loitering around the premises of the counting centres or entering the counting centres without the permission of the returning officer will not be permitted. The STF has been provided with clear instructions to make arrests if such incidents take place.
Still in local news, the bodies of 4 members of the same family who were murdered were found in the Vennapur area today. Crime Watch has the details.
The woman, who is a dental surgeon, her husband and 2 children were found murdered in the Nainamadama area in Vennapur. The victims have been identified as 47-year-old Punya Kumari Vichetunga, a dental surgeon attached to the Lunuvilla General Hospital, her husband, 52-year-old Nalin Hettiavachi, who was a businessman, and their 2 children aged 15 and 13. The bodies of the family were found following on investigations which was launched by the police after a complaint was made of their disappearance by a group of doctors at the Lunuvilla Hospital. 3 bodies were found in a ditch used to dump coconut husks coir factory close to the victim's residence in Nainamadama. According to the police, after further inspections of the area, the body of the 13-year-old daughter was found in a bag. The bodies were taken out under the supervision of Marwila magistrate Channa Abhiratna. While the police have launched an extensive investigation into the murders, our correspondent said that the security guard at the coir factory is missing.
The Dambulla Dedicated Economic Centre says that the wholesale prices of a number of vegetables in the market have increased to over 300 rupees a kilo.
The wholesale price of a kilogram of beans, carrots, leeks, banana and pepper have increased to over 300 rupees at the Dambulla Dedicated Economic Centre. In addition, the prices of low-country vegetables such as bitter gourd, brinjals and sponge gourd have increased to a price between 130 to 200 rupees a kilo. When wholesale market prices reach such a level, the prices in the retail market increase by another 100 rupees. Farmers point out that the reason for the massive increase in vegetable prices was the destruction of crops by the incessant downpour experienced over the recent days. These farmers point out that the situation has arisen where they cannot reap the harvest of the crops that survived the heavy rains. The Traders Union at the Dambulla Dedicated Economic Centre points out that in this backdrop, only 50,000 kilograms of vegetables arrived on a daily basis to the market, which usually sees an inflow of 1 million kilograms a day.
New Zealand's Kane Williamson says that Sri Lankan spinner Rangana Herath would pose a challenge for him at the second test of the series against Sri Lanka. The Kiwis won the first test against Sri Lanka by 8 wickets. Rangana Herath did not play in the first test, citing injury. The second test between New Zealand and Sri Lanka will commence on Saturday in Wellington.
From cricket to rugby, England rugby coach Stuart Lancaster started the countdown to next year's Rugby World Cup by turning on the official tournament sign on Tyne Bridge in Newcastle, followed by a spectacular firework display. England are hosting the tournament, with some matches also held in the Millennium Stadium in Cardiff.
St James Park, home of Newcastle United, is due to host 3 matches. 20 international teams will contest the Webb Ellis Cup over the 6-week tournament. England's build-up has been less than perfect, with defeats against New Zealand and South Africa, followed by a win against Australia in the autumn internationals. The Webb Ellis Trophy, currently held by New Zealand, has been making its way across 10 competing countries across the world. The opening ceremony is on the 18th of September, followed by the first match between England and Fiji, with the final due to take place at Twickenham on the 31st of October.
In news from the Big Bash League in Australia, Adelaide strikers batsman John O'Dean was hitting the ball so hard during his side's victory over the Hobart Hurricanes that he split his bat in two. As the number 3 went to layer up a delivery from Tim van der Gutten through the covers, his willow broke in half, necessitating a change of blade. It did not alter Dean's approach, however, as he sealed a comfortable win for the strikers with a huge 6.
You should go and give that to Luton, he'd still crunch it with that thing, clean up the bowl, couldn't it? It's a dangerous shot. Yeah. Oh.
There goes $500, $600.
Ouch. Wonder how many bats he brings out. If you have some batters, isn't it funny? Some batters come out there, Sachin changes his bat, Sachin's got back.
The world welcomed 2015 in spectacular fashion with fireworks, light shows and star-studded performances across the globe.
That's right, and tonight we leave you with footage of New Year celebrations around the world. Good night.
Thank you.